someone who has a good work ethic and still is keeping on pushing hard together with the team to keep winning, which was great to hear.
Yeah, but to put that into context, Max's jet is the loudest that lands at the small little airfield that is Cranfield. And thank you very much, Nico Rosberg, for revealing exactly where I live on the
Well,
podcast.
you
If
can
you
give a number or a street name. I've got that here if you want it.
you have, because you sent me something this week. But I'll send everyone round your house. Although you've probably got people on the doors
You
to
could
stop.
do you could invite everybody now to like an open barbecue or something at your place.
I've got a brand new
Well,
barbecue. You're more than welcome.
When the fish and chip van turns up at your house every Friday, Crofty, that might give it away as well.
The fish and chip man knows where I live. That is for sure. Bless
So
him.
the producer here has already just wrote, "I'll cut out the location, Crofty, smiley."
Yeah. Crofty lives nowhere near Cranfield Airport.
Yeah.
Everyone. Can we just pick up on one lovely story as well that you might have picked up on if you are a follower of all motorsport and look at the websites and the press around it. But Max, and we heard about it the weekend as well, driving the Nordschleife this weekend, is going to the Nürburgring to compete in the endurance series of the GT car, but he's got to get his German permit for the Nordschleife from the German Motorsport Federation, with which he has to pass an exam on Friday. That will afford him a Category B permit, so he can drive in the Porsche Cayman in his GT4 CS. If he gets two results, he gets his A permit, unless the panel decides in one race he's good enough, in which case he'll then get to drive the Ferrari 296 GT3 on the second day, but not under his alias as Franz Hermann. He has to do as Max Verstappen to get the permit.
What are the questions on this exam? What's your name? Max Verstappen. Oh, congratulations, you've got a permit.
I mean, I don't know is the answer. And in fact, if anyone from the German Permit Association is watching or listening to this podcast, perhaps you could send us the kind of. I'd love to know what's on that. I mean,
does Nico have a German permit?
Have you done the Nürburgring, the full track? Have you got your permit?
But no, I've never done it, and I don't have a permit. Nevertheless, I find it so awesome that he's doing it. It's incredible. Like all of us other drivers, with 24 races, you're just like maxed out, and all you can think of is doing some home time with a bit of training, routine, see the kids, and he goes off to go into a classroom to get a license to then drive in the B class on the Saturday, and then hopefully make it to the A class by the Sunday. Unbelievable. That's so cool. Like the whole world will be watching this, and like even I'll be tuning in on Sunday to see how he's going, because I think, there's been so much talk about his lap record from 5 months ago. Of course he can do the lap record. He's the most talented race car driver in the whole world, and it doesn't matter what car he gets into. He will drive faster than anybody else in the world. So of course he's gonna do incredibly well. Like,
Kelly's very patient though. We'll give Kelly PK his partner, so as if she doesn't have him for enough weekends. Off he buggers to the Nordschleife.
I've just looked up what do you need to get a permit at the Nordschleife, and what's come out is an example all about yellow flags and how much speed you can or can't have going through yellow flag zones, and it's a code 60 zone or a code 120 zone. It's actually quite confusing, to be fair. I mean, for me, not for Max, obviously.
Very confusing, and not something that you'll be getting anytime soon. You're too busy, Crofty. Although actually, you've got a weekend off. Maybe you can get down there the next couple of weekends, haven't you? So there we are.
Mrs. Crofty's not as patient as Kelly, trust me.
No, I bet. But you have been lavishing her with anniversary gifts, so I should imagine that she's pretty happy with you at the moment. All right, we'll take a break. Okay. We'll take a short break, and then we shall return. We'll discuss Ferrari. We'll also discuss A few more issues at Mercedes for Kimi Antonelli in a couple of moments' time. Quick word on our show partner Audi. The philosophy
pointed to miscommunication and the tricky timing of the restart as the root cause. It was a bit of confusion with the two McLarens going out, Leclerc said. It looked like they were going out at the same time. So his mechanic, thought that they would go out a bit slow, and so I didn't have the message to stop. On these cases, you kind of rely on the team. But these things happen, and it was also in a tricky moment because with all the red flags, everybody was in such a rush to get out to do some laps. So, it's a combination of things. It's not something you want, but these things happen. Leclerc eventually placed 9th on the timesheets in FP2 but had earlier impressed with 2nd place in FP1, leaving him convinced that Ferrari's outright pace is strong enough to recover. Good FP1, very difficult FP2. He reflected. It's been just a very messy FP2 with the traffic and with the red flags and with the pit lane incident. So lots of things going on which haven't been very positive, but we'll reset and come back stronger. I think the pace is in the car, so that's a good thing. Ferrari's mixed Friday. Positives to build on the Scuderia did at least show flashes of competitiveness. Lewis Hamilton, in the sister car, was 4th in FP1 before finishing 10th in FP2. Having at one stage topped the timing screens during the stop-start session. It's generally been a good day, Hamilton said afterwards. I felt like we made steps forward today, so I feel like overnight, we probably won't change much. But of course, trying to refine the setup and see if we can extract a little bit more to get as close as we can to the McLarens. With McLaren setting the pace in FP2, the day's most relevant session, the Marina Bay weekend is already shaping up as a tight battle. For Ferrari, however, the focus is first on ironing out the confusion that sparked Friday's most bizarre moment. Leclerc explains his pit lane collision with Norris. Ferrari's Charles Leclerc was P2 in first practice in Singapore, and P9 in FP2, when he also had an unfortunate clash with Lando Norris in the pit lane. Charles Leclerc outlines pit lane confusion that caused FP2 crash with Lando Norris. Leclerc's collision with Norris was the key talking point of his Friday practice day in Singapore. Charles Leclerc reckons a misjudgment from his Ferrari team was behind the collision with Lando Norris late on in second practice at the Formula One Singapore Grand Prix. Ferrari released Leclerc into the pathway of Norris down the pit lane, causing the Monegasque to drive into the McLaren, which subsequently lost its front wing as it then collided with the wall. This came in the final 20 minutes of a twice red-flagged FP2, with the collision occurring at the second restart in which lots of cars were trying to leave at once due to the limited running. That included Oscar Piastri being right behind teammate Norris the whole time, something which Leclerc believes is what threw his Ferrari mechanics off. It was a bit of confusion with the two McLarens going out, Leclerc said. It looked like they were going out at the same time. So his mechanic, thought that they would go out a bit slow, and so I didn't have the message to stop. On these cases, you kind of rely on the team. But these things happen, and it was also in a tricky moment because with all the red flags, everybody was in such a rush to get out to do some laps. So, it's a combination of things. It's not something you want, but these things happen. Leclerc eventually finished 9th in that session, but he had a positive opening practice, recording the second quickest time, leaving him upbeat for the weekend. Good FP1, very difficult FP2, he added. It's been just a very messy FP2 with the traffic and with the red flags and with the pit lane incident. So lots of things going on which haven't been very positive, but we'll reset and come back stronger. I think the pace is in the car, so that's a good thing. There is also promise in the sister Ferrari, as Lewis Hamilton was 4th in opening practice before finishing 10th in FP2, though was top at stages in the second outing. It's generally been a good day, said Hamilton, who, like Leclerc, awaits his first Grand Prix win of the year.